Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because of that, you guys, well, this just simply wouldn't work. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't work because it's really all about us all together. And I didn't get here by myself, and I have a lot of you guys to thank. Actually, I've got all of you guys to thank. We're just beginning and just scratching the surface. And if you like what you got in 2017 and before, you're going to love what we're going to be doing in 2018 and beyond. My goal is to become, I would say ESPN, but I don't want to set my sights that low. I want to make this channel better than ESPN, the go-to place for your football news. And I've got some exciting stuff that is going to be happening. We're going to start working on this tomorrow. Actually, we're going to start working on some of this tonight. And we're planning to make this really, really grow. And I have to thank each and every one of you guys, everybody who donated to help out as far as the drawing we're going to do on Monday nights. This Monday night, we're giving away the Bill Bates autographed shirt from Joe Boo's here. Last week, it was a Charles Haley Joe Boo jersey that was autographed by Charles Haley. So it's about all of us together. So with that stuff, we're going to be upgrading and changing the studio. So you're going to see a different look in the next few months of stuff while we go under construction to change, evolve, and get even better. And like I said, I am really excited about some stuff that we are working on. But anyway, and if you guys still want to get in on the drawing, go to cowboyjoeboo.com and you'll see the PayPal donate button. Or if you go to the top of my YouTube channel up here, there's the blue P, which is for PayPal. If you click on that, you can do a donation, and any donation, no matter what it is, will go to help the channel, and we'll put you in with the rest of our Cowboy fans here for our drawing Monday night. So thank you guys, as always, for the support. So we've got some interesting news. A lot of us wanted to see the whole coaching staff changed. And I was talking with Foots, Cowboys Nation, and if you haven't subscribed to Cowboys Nation, check him out, because Cowboys Nation does something I just don't have enough time to do. He does a whole lot of film breakdown, just like Law Nation. So go ahead, show him some love as well, because he really knows what he's talking about. But him and I were having a conversation today on the phone about why we kept everybody that we kept. Now, Rod Marinelli is considering retiring. I think that would be actually a big loss as opposed to Scott Linehan, because when you look at our defense, we went from the worst ever in 2013 to 19th to 17th. And this past year, believe it or not, it was actually ranked 8th. I know it didn't seem that way. It seemed like our defense stunk. But as the rookies started to come on, between Taco, between Lewis, between Woods, Jeff Heath actually played really well down the stretch. Xavier Woods, you had DeMarcus Lawrence doing really well. Tyron Crawford had a better year. And David Irving, for the 8 games he played, 7 sacks. The defense was getting better. But the key thing I think you will miss if Rod Marinelli retires is he is able to work miracles on the defensive line. He has taken guys that have been nobodies and turned them into productive players. Remember, David Irving was a practice squad player for Kansas City. Think about that for a second. A guy who got 7 sacks in 8 games. They didn't realize what they had. He was practice squad. And if you don't know what practice squad is, that means you are fresh meat for the starters. You are the dummies. He took that guy and turned him into a beast. You see what DeMarcus Lawrence did. Take a George Selvey, who had 4 sacks in 4 years with 4 different teams, and turned him into an 8-sack guy. You cannot argue with what Rod Marinelli has done with the defensive line and getting that production. I'm not crazy about the Tampa 2, but hey, he will be missed if he does retire. But my thinking is getting back, taking a deep breath, getting over the anger of wanting that fresh meat, wanting blood, my pound of flesh, for not being in the playoffs right now as we watch Kansas City destroy the Titans, 20-3 at the half. I understand where Jerry Jones is right now. Jerry is thinking, as Stephen A. Smith would say, what can go wrong went wrong for our Cowboys this year. You had David Irvin suspended for 4 games. You had Zeke Elliott, best running back in football, who almost still got 1,000 yards, missing 6 games because of that stupid suspension. You had brain farts where we couldn't hold leads in the second half. You lost Tyrone Smith and had a debacle in Atlanta where you made a guy who was a nobody, made him a household name with Chaz Green. You had Sean Lee go out, and your defense that was averaging about 80 yards rushing was giving up about 170. You had all of these things happen, and yet you still went 5-1 in your division. You were 9-7, and in most years in the NFC, that would have been a playoff team. In fact, if you were in the AFC, that would have been a playoff team. So I think in Jerry's mind is, let's not change too much because we're really not that far away. And the other thing you have to take in consideration is the NFL cycle, which is true for 30 teams. The NFL cycle is you have a good season, play really well, maybe make the playoffs, then the next year you fall back down to earth. That applies to everybody except for Cleveland, who stays right here at the bottom, and New England, that stays at the top. But for everybody else, you rise and you fall year after year. You've got that first place schedule, so you've got to play those tough teams. We played AFC West, You had everybody in there pretty much a good team. Great defenses, But you look at our division, yeah, the Eagles are good this year, but the Eagles will probably hit that same cycle next year and come back down to earth with that first place schedule. They won't be playing Mary Little Sisters of the Poor. The Redskins may not have a quarterback because they're probably going to let Kirk Cousins go, and they didn't have much without Kirk Cousins. The Giants, well, they got to implode the whole thing. So when you start thinking, okay, I'm playing the AFC South, all right, our division is still going to be weak next year. Okay. We were close. So maybe, let's just hold tight for a second. Let's just stay pat. Let's see what happens next year. And I believe that is the thinking of Jerry Jones at this moment. Now, we'll have to wait and see if that works. I'm hoping that Jason and crew does some soul searching, does some studying, puts on the thinking cap, sharpens their pencil, and comes up with a new plan. A few new wrinkles, and a great quarterback coach to work with Dak Prescott. They do those things, maybe change up the defense a little bit, get some players that can fill in when our premier ones are hurt. You'll be okay next year. At least, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm banking on. So, I've got to go out, do some stuff here. Michael's going to ride along with me. And again, I want to thank you guys because tonight, in the next few minutes, we're going to be starting on that first step of making this channel take off even more because of you guys. And I can't thank you enough. Woo! I'm excited as can be. 2018 is going to be one hell of a year. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Joe Boo, and we'll see you guys soon.